friends, you called in favors. You said, hey, I showed up at your softball game. Now I need you to show up at the campaign office. Again, I'll say, the election didn't turn out like we wanted it to. Certainly not as we planned for it to. But understand that the work we put into it was about empowering people. That's the spirit with the work we did.
It gets worse and worse and worse. I love how they're reporting on it, though, y'all. I can't admit, I love how they're reporting on it as we are ending 2024 off, man. God bless them beautiful patriots around the world, my brothers and sisters. I hope everybody is blessed, well, and healthy. They say, Rick, stop coming on here laughing. Stop playing. Please act your age. Sir, you are 25 years old now. You just turned 25. Please come on here and act your age, sir. What a year it's been. I think I deserve to have a good laugh. I mean, hell, we've all been lied to. We all live in this corrupt scam matrix. We were all told that the president was sharp as a tack. We all had to watch interviews, press conferences live on air on TV of drunk candidates. People that can't put a sentence together, people falling down, elderly abuse, people dropping snow cones and slushies and milkshakes on the floor. We all was told they're doing, the Bidenomics is working, the economy's beautiful, the border, everything's working and everything's perfect. That we're doing such a great job. So I feel like I deserve to have a good laugh. I deserve to come on here and keep it real. Whether you want to hear it or not. Sorry. But I got to be real. And shout out to them patrons. Shout out to all my loving brothers and sisters that show so much love and support on this channel. I love you guys, man. And it's a disgrace. And to hell with a politician. I say they shut the whole thing down. They send out refunds and instead everybody get a check. They come down and just shut the IRS down. Burn the whole building on fire. And it's a lot of things that need to be set on fire. And they just come and wipe out Washington. Because you lied to the people. And they down there playing jacks and poker down there. They down there playing poker. People running around butt naked. Unbelievable. Yeah. And my people struggling. My brothers and sisters. People have died. But oh boy, we got the worst media lies of 2024. I couldn't wait to get into this. It gets worse and worse, especially for these Democrats and Kamala. My values haven't changed. She put on a brand new pair of flip-flops. Let's get into it. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. God bless them beautiful patriots around the world.
2024 was a wild political campaign year, especially from the mainstream media. But what are the worst lies the media pushed for Democrats? Here to break it down with me is Fox News contributor Joe Concha. Joe's written a column on this. And Joe, quite honestly, we could fill this entire wall full of media lies from 2024, and even that probably wouldn't do it justice.
We could go to 10 a.m. Eastern time.
We could do the next several hours on this. But let's hit some of the lowlights, if we will. Let's start.
There's so many lies. There's so much lies. The biggest cover-ups, the biggest scandal. It's bad, y'all.
With this, Joe. This is defending, I believe, Kamala Harris's various flip-flops throughout the year. Here is some of what we were treated to from Kamala Harris.
I think sometimes we're not honest with ourselves about, a couple things. First of all, we change our minds all the time based on, information, based on where we're sitting.
I don't think that's a bad argument. I think people have a sense of understanding of those values. But to your point, it sounds like politics, and people have a willingness to accept a level of politics from these folks.
Immigration matters to her. People are saying she's so to the left. She's so progressive. She's very centrist. She's going to have a Republican in her cabinet.
You see how they played in order? MSNBC, CNN, and The Spew. Not The View, The Spew with those ladies. MSNBC, CNN, and The Spew. Just as we covered it, just as we knew. Just in that order. So MSNBC, CNN, and the Spew / ABC. Yeah. And then CBS and NLBC and the NCDCC and all the alphabetical order. A disgrace. Legacy media is in trouble, man. In trouble.
Joe?
Yes. When a Republican flip-flops, it's called a lie. When a Democrat does it, it's called evolving. It's called learning and growing up. Look, these weren't lies. They were invalid truths, right? Actually, those are the same thing. When Kamala Harris said that she opposed fracking, all offshore drilling, compared ICE to the KKK, thought that, those are in prison who are here illegally should get sex changes. These are all on tape.
Right.
So when they say these things, well, you can't say, well, no, she's changed this time. She was never a centrist, and no one bought it because Donald Trump won the popular vote and won every swing state.
Well, this is one of my favorites in that it was so nakedly obvious how much they were running cover for Democrats and specifically Joe Biden. Joe, these are all the headlines that said Republicans were guilty of cheap fakes, suggesting, as the Washington Post does here, cheap fake Biden videos enrapture the right-wing media, but they deeply mislead, Joe.
5 words sum up this entire year from a media perspective. Don't believe your lying eyes. So when Joe Biden is walking off stage and he's shaking hands with the air, or he doesn't know how to get off stage, or he forgets the name of cabinet members, or he's literally saying that he had a conversation with those who deceased way back when, whether it's the French president, German chancellor, and so on, we were told those actually are not real. When, again, it's on video.
Right.
Fortunately, we have X, and X served as the ultimate fact checker whenever we were told by the media that videos that we saw actually were real.
And, as you mentioned, our lying eyes. We saw the truth.
Precisely.
Despite the fact they continue to try to tell us that Joe Biden was fit for office. That was another one of the big lies this year. Here's how they told us that what we see is not what is real.
Gaffes and mixing up names. I think for people who've been observing Joe Biden for a really long time, that's actually just normal Biden. He did show
Joyless Reed, stage 5, race hating, race baiting, deranged Reed. They ought to shut MSNBC down and walk that lady out in handcuffs. Look at the same order though. MSNBC, CNN, and it's the exact same order. Shout out to Fox. They did such an amazing job putting these clips together.
A little swagger. And I think that the swagger does kind of combat the age. He's showing, I've got a lot of energy.
An extremely accomplished, experienced, and capable in every way that anyone would want if they're president.
She ought to be ashamed of herself. I think they ought to walk her out in handcuffs too. Yeah, she drunk as hell. They might as well. I'm just saying, y'all. I got to be real here. That is a disgrace right there. And then she kept trying to add a little more, little seasoning to it. Trying to make it sound better. That is ridiculous. But there it is, y'all. Fake news, the fear-mongering, the propaganda, the lies, and the lies, and the lies. Yeah.
This might be, Joe, one of the biggest deceptions of the last decade, perhaps more.
Oh, I'll say in modern presidential history, right, as far as this cover-up, which wasn't much of a cover-up because we've been talking about it on this network for years. The most unintentionally hilarious part about all of it, however, is when we were told that actually behind the scenes, Joe Biden is this physical and mental, masterclass, right? In other words, he's Lamar Jackson meets Stephen Hawking. He's doing quadratic equations. He's telling you how the flux capacitor works and why 1.21 gigawatts is actually important. All these things when we all, again, heard and saw what we did from this president, especially during that debate in Atlanta when his brain basically turned applesauce.
Remember when he told Donald Trump that he could outdrive him?
Yes.
I'm waiting for that competition, the Biden versus Trump driving contest.
You know what the best part about that was? Trump is called a fascist and everything and didn't get too upset about that.
Yeah.
But then if you talk about golf and you're going to outdrive him, then he got really angry. He's like, wait a minute, that won't stand.
All right, thank you, Joe.
All right, man. Good